Alright folks, welcome back to the 1890s. This is the second episode in a mini-series about pre-1900 gutty golf, where I'm using 1890s irons and a replica long-nose wood made by Kelly Leonard in Manitoba, Canada. If you'd like to learn more about the clubs I'm using today, make sure you check out the first episode. Playing today at Cypress Ridge Golf Course in Topeka, Kansas. This is a modern golf course by most standards, so it's a little different to play 1890s gutty golf on. But I'll kind of show you the pros and cons of how it works when you try to play gutty golf on a modern course. Playing partners today are my sister-in-law, who's 15 years old, and this is her first time playing golf, and my father-in-law, who's played golf before but hasn't in a while. So let's dive into the action. Just going to show you some highlights from this round and do a proper course vlog of Cypress Ridge sometime in the future. If you watched the first episode of this series, you'll remember that I broke my lofter early in that round. So this was the second time with the set, and I figured I would use the lofter quite a bit, first to make sure the repair would hold, but also because, the lofter, like the mashie in a 1920s Hickory set, is one of the more versatile clubs in a gutty set, and you rely on it quite a bit during a round, as you see here. So one of the first things to note about playing gutty golf on a modern course are the greens. They're just a lot quicker than they would have been in the 1890s, and you have to get used to the pace using a lofted putter. So another thing from the first episode you remember is that it was my first time swinging this Kelly Leonard replica McEwan long nose play club. As this round went on, I got more comfortable with it, and I was using these rubber tees from Amazon instead of sand for the tees. Here's a nice drive from my father-in-law, Jamie Henderson. He's using some clubs that I've kind of put together for him, and we've been having a really good time playing golf lately, and he's starting to get back into it. So at this shot, I'm using the Paxton General iron. It was a kind of a thin piece of rough there, so I felt like I could get the club behind the ball pretty well. And, that's about as far as I've been able to hit that club in the air right now. Here's the lofter again. Just accuracy needs some tuning there, but pretty happy with the contact I was making with this club early on, and especially around the green with these chips. I was feeling pretty good about my feel. Here's a par 3. I'm teeing off with the long nose play club again, and was real happy with that contact, but just got a nasty kick on the left side of that bunker. But distance-wise, I'm hitting it about as well as I can. And this was a nice shot from Jamie. Going to be up there. Good shot though.
I was using that 3-iron. 3 wood you gave.
So sand's always been my demise with Hickory clubs. Got lucky here. The lofter is able to kind of nip it off the sand if the sand is hard pan like it was at Cypress Ridge. And again, another decent chip here. We were playing early in the morning, so there's quite a bit of dew on the grass, which helped. It slowed things down, and I started to get the pace of the greens a little bit better with the putter. So we're going to show you every shot on this hole. This is one of my favorite holes on the course. It's also one of the toughest. It's got a sloping fairway from right to left that'll feed balls toward the water. So my play here is to just try to keep this straight, knowing that pretty much any place that I'm going to end up distance-wise is going to be on the slope.
Yeah, that's another problem I have. I can't.
I was pretty happy with that tee shot, but here you see the slope. I'm using the general iron. And in this instance, the lie angle of the general iron and the slope were very complementary to one another, so I got real nice contact on that one. And again, back to the lofter. It's really nice only having 3 clubs, basically, to choose from when you're playing gutty golf. In fact, just maybe 2 when you're in the fairway. Here's a closer look at the Willie Park putting cleek I use, a circa 1893. And look at this hop right there. It's almost like you're chipping the ball when you're on the green. It's hard to avoid doing that. You just have to kind of plan it as part of your stroke. And here on shorter putts, just wasn't quite used to how to time the putts. But I got better with it as the course went, or as the round went on. I wanted to show you this shot because, believe it or not, you can actually loft these clubs pretty high, pretty quick. This is the lofter, It's 44 degrees, and if you put it in the front of your stance, you can pretty much pop it up quick over anything. And in that instance, I got it over some trees. So I was real happy that I was able to do that with the lofter.
Did you land in that too?
No, I was just up here.
Number 6 is another short par 4 that you benefit from a sloping fairway toward the green. I wanted to show you this shot because this was probably my best drive of the day with the long nose play club. Nice boring ball flight there.
Huh?
And yeah, 180 is about as far as I've hit this club so far, and that's fine. You know, you got to be used to shorter distances with Gutty clubs in general, and most of the time you're playing shorter courses. I should also mention that, you know, I was playing from the Reds, which is about 2,500 yards. That's a little long for Gutty golf, in my opinion, especially on this course, and you'll see it on the next hole particularly. But, you know, there's a gold tee set up on this course that you can play that probably would work a little better. But this is a good example of where modern courses in Gutty golf don't get along. Par 4, 439 yards, and that's just a lot to work with when you're trying to move the ball only 180 yards a time or less. Started this hole out with a good drive, about as good as I could hit it off the tee. And this is where I tried to use the play club off the fairway. Kelly Leonard actually put a brass sole plate on the bottom of this club so that I could use it off the fairway, but it's going to take some practice, as you saw there. I wanted to show you one of Katie's highlights. Drive her off the deck,
Pretty good.
and she got the ball up in the air a little bit and got some draw on it.
Still going. And look at that nice.
You got you got draw roll on it.
So by this point in the round, the greens were drying up pretty good, but I was getting used to the pace as well. I was pretty happy with how I was rolling the putter today. Katie wasn't rolling the putter too bad herself.
Nice.
So here's a cool par 3. From the Reds, it plays over the water right off the corner, but it's a nice, easy swing here, 135 yards to get it up on the green. Katie liked this hole too. Her favorite thing to do pretty much was to skip balls across the lake, and she hit quite a few of them.
That would be so embarrassing to see somebody.
So here's a long birdie putt.
Yeah, good thing the camera's pointing the other way.
This green slopes severely from the back to the front toward the water. So you got to be careful you don't give this too much. But this part of the green's pretty flat. This is probably the easiest area to try to get a birdie on. But I'll be happy with a par any day. So finally, last hole. We won't show you what happened up to this point. It's not noteworthy. But it was another opportunity to go up and down with the lofter. Yeah, like pretty much all day long, I'd been chipping it pretty well and getting real used to this stroke with the lofter around the green.
Are you?
No. But I am.
Yeah, I was happy with the putts too. Thanks for watching this latest trip to the 1890s and my second round with my 1890s Gutty set. Make sure you check out the first episode in this series where I talk about the equipment that I'm using a little closer. And also make sure you check out my first Gutty golf experience with post-1900 Gutty clubs and the lower right. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like and subscribe.